Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a little bit about roses. Now, what I want to show you is rose budding and grafting. Now, you see my roses, they start to grow. Now, this is the sign of spring is coming. We are at the end of winter in Sydney. So now this is a time to work on the roses. Now I have a rootstock. Now this is a multiflora. See in front of you is a rootstock that people use to bud the roses on. Now the idea is that the rootstock is a wild rose. And it has very strong roots. So if you transfer a bud from a rose onto a rootstock, the rose will grow really well on the roots of the rootstock. Now what you see in front of you is a tall stem of rootstock. I have put this to the ground a while ago, so the roots already grow, and now the top start to grow springtime, and with a tall stem like this, I can use it to create a tall rose. Now the name for it is called standards. This one is about 1.6 a meter tall. Some people call it standard, some people call it or would call it as a tree rose. The reason why they call these tall roses as standards because they come in standard size. For example, they could come as 60 centimeter tall, or it can be 90 centimeter tall, or it can be 120 or 160, and the tallest would generally come at 180 centimeter tall. So this is a great hobby. You take a tall stem, you root it over winter, springtime, it starts to grow, and then you graft a rose onto it. Now, one of the biggest reasons today why you would want to learn how to graft a rose, because in the old time they sell you high quality stuff. Basically, they take a tall stem, they graft a single bud of rose on it. Then they have to wait for 2 years for the rose to grow fully, and it will form a very strong, well-rounded crown on top, and you have a single tree rose that is really great and strong, and the wind will not be able to break it. Today, they don't do that anymore. They want everything to be cheap and fast so they can sell it. So they tend to graft 2 or 3 rose buds onto a single trunk like this. Now the idea is that if they do that within a very short time, I'm talking about 6 months to maximum 1 year, they already have something looking great. But the trouble is, if the wind blow and break one of them, the whole thing will be out of balance, and you don't get a good plant after that at all. And even if you don't have that problem, the tree buds, they tend to grow at different rates, and the rose you have is not a balance. So in the old time, they did it in a proper way, a single bud, and they let the thing grow to full size, after 2 years. before they sell it. They say they don't want to do it. You know, you're talking about 6 months and they want to sell you and make money. So unfortunately, the only way for you to get a perfect 3 rows is to do it yourself. I know it's sad, but you know that's how things goes these days. Now, here are some of the tools that I have. You know, that is just a utility knife for a general purpose. Now that is called a budding knife. This is a multi-flora rootstock that I'm going to use to do the budding. Now, so the first action is to do what they call a T cut, right? So you cut across first, and then after that you do a straight down cut. Now this is called T cut. Now this is early in springtime, so the bark may not be ready. The bark needs to slip away from the stem for you to be able to do the budding. Now it seems to be just okay, not perfect, but it's just okay. You see, it slipped away, not really nicely though. Now when the top grow really well, the sap flow is strong, then the cambium layer start to grow, and you can sort of, you know, like do a proper cut. Now that seems to be okay. Now, so that's good enough, so put it back to keep the moisture in. Now that would be good enough. Now the next action is I need to take a bud from a proper rose. You see? So I need to transfer the bud across. Now the action of cutting must go from the bottom. You have to go from the bottom and then you go up. And use a very sharp knife, a utility knife would do. Yeah, so you cut it up like that, and then you do a cross cut to remove it. Now the thing is, when you take it out, it will dry really quickly. Now you want to prevent that, and I find, you know, the easiest way is to put it into my mouth. You know, I mean, you can put into some water or something like that, but yeah, I just put into my mouth. Now we are ready. The next action is to put the chip bud straight into the T cut. Now this is, well, pretty easy. All you need to do is to push the bark away and try to insert the thing in cleanly. So yes, with the tip of the budding knife, that's what you do. Separate, and then you try to push it in. Now it has to be a clean. Now as I told you before, I put the bud into my mouth to keep the thing moist. Now that is important. You don't want the thing to dry out, you know, quickly. You know, when you move from one action to the next. So put the thing into the mouth is okay. Your saliva won't hurt it. It will work. The alternative is to have a bowl of water. Then you drop the thing into a bowl of water. If you want to harvest many buds, yeah, and get ready to do, well, a lot of budding, right? So see, so push the thing in, and it will be pretty good. Not perfect yet. Adjust it. Make sure it go in perfectly. And you see the bit at the top line up right to the top, so that's very good. So now trim a little bit of the growth that I don't need. Now this is the time to do the wrapping. Now what you need is the budding tape, now you wrap from the bottom up. That is really important. Now that's how you do it. You wrap from the bottom up. The reason is because it builds the layers, so that when the rain comes, the rain will just like wash outside, but it will not get inside. Now that is very important. Alright, so just wrap the thing carefully. And then, you know, just pull it tight and it will stick. the paraffin will stick to itself, and you don't have to worry about doing any extra thing. Now that's it. Beautiful. Now look at that. That's beautiful. Now that will be protected, and within about 2 or 3 weeks, you have the sap flow from the leaves coming down across the section where you have the bud, and that is when you have the union, and the bud will attach to the hose. And then a few weeks after that, it's possible to cut the top off, and then the bud will start to grow. Now guys, you probably have a question in your mind why people do tea budding. Budding is a slow way to get the thing to grow, but it is the technique to produce the strongest graft. Now roses, if you're not careful, and if you do grafting of tall tree roses, the standard one, the wind may cause the break, and budding, especially tea budding, is the industry standard because it produces really strong grafts. And doing this, you will match the quality of the commercial roses that you get out there.